Might take a little bit. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We are thrilled to be here today. This is Joan, and I'd like you to introduce you to Gertrude Hsu. Hi, Gertrude. Do you want to say hi to everyone?
Oh, hi everyone. I see Juno Spear, Havana. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thrilled that there's so many people here today. Ivana and the Crone Zone ladies and Sharon Sipe. Whenever I say
Yeah.
hi to Sharon Sipe in the chat, I always put a superwoman emoji next to her because it's just amazing. She's like got superpowers that she's kind of everywhere at once. And who else is here? Sunny Intuition and Butterfly Kisses Healing. And thank you so much for being here, Inavani Intuitive. We're really thrilled that you're here. And I'm sure some of you may have seen Gertrude yesterday on Allie Martin's show. So tell us, Gertrude, how did that go for you?
Well, I was comfortable and I knew it would be fine because the day before, Ra Ha Sha actually gave me a coaching. I was really nervous. And then I started ranting again. So I told him, what are you getting me into? I am not ready for this. And so he started giving me a coaching. And that was when he told me to look through my deck. And I said I already looked through my deck of cards, but since he told me, and that really helped. So and then he kind of run me through my gifts as a person because I have a tendency to downplay or minimize myself.
I
So he
think a
was
lot of
playing
us do that. Yeah.
all my gifts as a person, and it was like preparing me. But today, I don't feel any need for preparing because I feel very comfortable.
Good, 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 good. Well, oh, and there's T Barb, and I thought I saw Sun Psychic Jean here too. Thank you all so much for coming. Now, and taking part in this experiment. We have not done this before. It might be a little bit wild and woolly. It's been a long time since I've done since I've kind of driven and hosted a live. So hang in there with us. But what we're going to do is, uh, well, let's see. I'll put up a banner and ask for some of your questions. Um, let's see. Taking questions about money, career, relationships, and whatever you'd like to put in. We'll see if we can answer some of your questions. And the way we're going to do it is going to be a little different. I will tune in and do what I always do, which is I'll tune in to Gertrude and ask my spirit team and angels and guides to connect with hers and see what I can get. And now Gertrude will be connecting with Ra Ha Sha. And the last time we did this in a personal reading, I just kind of did what I did and I got messages and you said, oh, you were channeling Ra Ha Sha. But I think there's a subtle difference because I wasn't really channeling him. I was tapping in to your guides and he
Yes.
was who came through. So yeah, so we'll see how this works. We've never really done this publicly before, just in a little practice session. But it's an interesting way to do it. And maybe Gertrude, you can tell us a little bit about for the people who weren't on Allie's channel yesterday, if you can tell us a little bit about your background.
Oh, so I actually come from a little jungle village, right on the island of Borneo. So I grew up in that little village called Kanawi, East Malaysia. And the little village is magical for me all through my years because, they say of mountaineers that you can never remove the mountain from them. And it's the same with this village because we live so close to nature. And so there's a certain amount, I think, of the love for nature and a certain innocence that never really goes away because of the first 12 years of my life. And then when I was 17, right after I left school. A month after I left school, I entered the monastery. And my family actually weren't very happy with that. But at the time, I just knew I had to do it. I told, it was like, unless I do it, I would never be happy. So I entered, and I was very happy the first 8 years. I entered to find God, and I found
Mhm.
God. But after the 8 years, I think I wasn't meant to be there because I started growing restless. So I left 11 years after. And I didn't really know how to fend for myself because I was trained only to meditate. And I didn't
Wow.
want to be a burden on my parents. So a friend of mine gave me photo and address of my late husband. You know, he was in this cowboy hat, you know, that pose, and a teacher, you know, in USA, I couldn't go wrong. So I just get a tourist visa. I came here and I thought, I'm not going back to Malaysia anyway. So when he proposed marriage, we got married just like that. So I was, so let's see. So he passed away 2011, Lou Gehrig disease.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, and I took care of him alone with hospice care. And it was there that I realized that I could do the work of caregiving because at that point, I either have to sell a house or find work. So I started working the first time in my life as caregiver. So I worked on that for 10 years. I retired last October, and then I resumed my hospice volunteering. So
That's
that
beautiful.
is kind of my background.
And then how did you get into the going from the spiritual world of the of Catholicism and your contemplative prayer from being a nun to this world of spirituality, which is similar but very different in many ways?
Yeah, very different. I have always been interested in psychic because uh, going into contemplative prayer, I developed psychic senses. And then, you know, during that difficult time during our country, I went online and I just searched psychic readers, and and that was when I came across. I watched several, but Diane's tarot is the one I like most because I found her to be very genuine, and she's also to the point. You know, she goes straight to the point of anything. And
Yeah.
one day she casually mentioned, I channel ET. And I thought, not you. You're so genuine. How could you be channeling ET? And I struggle with it. As much as I like her, after a few months, I said, no, I can't take this anymore. I'm getting out of here. So I canceled my membership with her. And then I thought I would just stay for one last Ra Ha Sha life channeled by her. And you know how it is in imagination. We were actually, you know, on YouTube. But in my mind, I was in this big room with all her members standing at the back. And I was challenging Ra Ha Sha. Tell me something, anything, or I am getting out of here and you will never see me again. I tend to do that. I leave and I don't come back. So I asked him a question about the force in my head. And he took my question. So he told me that I am going through an amazing awakening, that I had awakening before in other spiritual lives. And he stopped and he said that is rather unusual. It's usually reserved for ascended masters. And then
Oh,
yeah, he went on to say that the ascended masters are there trying to push me up the next level. And if this pressure gets to be too much, that I could ask them to back off. And of course, I wasn't going to do that. I mean, I'd rather support and to progress than to ask them to back off. So the answer just left me really all struck by it. And so I decided I want to get some sessions with him, but Diane was fully booked for 3 months. So I asked my spirit guide and I asked him to clear shifts for me. So one night, as I was getting into bed, something told me to check the internet. True enough, several shifts clear, all on days I wasn't working. I still believe they did. So I started seeing him once a month. And then a year ago, he asked me to channel him. And then April, he asked me to start my YouTube channel. I put up quite a resistance, but I finally did it. 2 months ago, he asked me to go collaborating on YouTube to grow my channel. And that one, I really put up a fight because I just couldn't see myself doing it. So, and here I am today.
Well, that's a fascinating story. I mean, you have been so brave from going from your family at what, 18, to leaving your family to go to the monastery and
Yes.
a whole new way of life, everything changing. And then going from the monastery because you're following your heart's calling, your soul's calling, to go to Tucson, Arizona, and meet this man that you'd never met before and get married. And then to go from the Catholic upbringing to all of a sudden all of the spirituality and everything that entails, and even to accept that you can have a relationship, a channeling relationship with an ET. It is pretty. You're a brave lady.
Well, the thing is, when I was a nun, I actually broke free. That was how I came to live. I broke free from it after a major crisis. I became anorexic. I went from 130 pounds to 75 pounds.
Oh my.
And after I recovered from that, I thought I I just broke free from everything and I leave my mind open. Because to follow the truth wherever it goes,
Yes.
one has to leave the mind open. And that is how I come to this path because I was able to leave my mind open.
That's beautiful. Now, tell us a little bit, and I grew up Catholic and I don't even know this. Tell us a little bit about contemplative prayer. What does that involve and what does it mean to people who don't know what that is?
Okay. So I follow the tradition of Saint Teresa of Jesus and Saint John of the Cross.
Okay.
With meditation, we start having to put in our own efforts. We have to just keep working at it. And up to a certain period, it suddenly seems to ease off. And I just get the nice feeling I am with God. And the distracting thoughts no longer bother me. As long as I am with God, I just kind of let the distracting thoughts come in, go in and out. And Saint Teresa termed it the prayer of simplicity. After that, I follow a few months of dryness. And dryness of prayer is very difficult because all of a sudden you don't have any good feelings and the meditation dry. So after a few months, one day I could feel this inner pull. And I told God, I'm sorry, I'm no longer used to meditating. So I resisted. And one day, it just pulled me inside. And for 4 days, I was like in moving around like in a stupor because I just felt disconnected from everything around me, occupied with that being that was possessing me. And after I came out of that, that was when I moved into contemplative prayer. And according to Saint Teresa of Jesus, this is called the prayer of quiet. And
Okay.
she said, God gives it to who He wills. We don't know why. And it's not something we could strive at with our own efforts. St. John of the Cross called it infused contemplation. And he said the same thing that, God just kind of give it to a person and we really can't strive after it like the other meditation. And with this infused contemplation, it's like a meditation. I would be with this dark force or energy. I look inside and it's completely dark. But there is a presence there. And the presence would keep me engaged to where I could sit for hours in meditation
Wow.
without anything in my mind, just empty of everything and just me and that dark. I call it the dark presence, God. So that is contemplative prayer. And from there, I started to develop psychic gifts.
Okay.
I started with yes and no. I ask myself a question. If I go deep inside, it's yes. If I try to go inside and everything disperses, then it's no. And after that, I started hearing voices. And I love those voices because they were so accurate. And I would test them on my husband. He believed it because I would tell him something and then it came true. And after the voices, I tried to develop it and I lost it instead. But what I get is just the sense of knowing. I just know things. I don't know
Yeah.
how I know it, but I just know it. And that is more what I am. And feeling,
Hmm.
I don't see spirits as much. I have seen presences, like usually in the form of a cloud. One time only I saw uh, a person, the deceased loved one of someone, of a patient I was sitting with at hospice. But mostly I can feel the presence.
That's fabulous. Oh, this is just so wonderful. And I think it illustrates there are so many paths
Yeah.
um, to where we are now and where we hope to be. One of my early teachers said, a lot of religions are it's the one way, it's my way or the highway. And and but in spirit, it's more of a spoke and wheel. There's many different spokes that go into the hub that is source. And I don't think God or spirit or one source, whoever you want to call it, really cares which way you get there. But if it gets you there, and to the experience of divine source, who cares? So I think everybody is on their right path and the right spoke, just where they need to be in the wheel, and we can just hope that we are, all meet at the hub sometime.
Yes, that's why with mystics, they actually speak common language. Mystics from all religion, every country, every all corners of the earth, they speak the same language because they experience the same infinite creator.
Right. That same teacher used to tell me, oh gosh, this
Yes.
was a long time ago when some of the issues in the Middle East with Iran and kind of I don't know what else was coming up, but I was asking her about it, and she said, she kind of repeated that everybody is where they need to be, and all God's children have a voice in the choir. Some sing loud, some or high, some sing low, or whatever that old song is, and we're all necessary for this creation. Um, and we're all playing we're all singing our correct part. But I'm fascinated by the parts you're singing. It's just fabulous. Now, can you tell us a little bit about um, how you decided to get in touch with me?
That is that is a really interesting story. So I saw you with Juno and I watched it and I remember thinking, how wonderful. She closed her eyes and she could see all these things. I'm not able to do that. And so after that, after I watched it, so it went off my mind. And then the last session with Ra Ha Sha, I tried to tell him I'm not ready for collaborating, but he still wants me to do it. So I got really angry. I mean, in that way. So I said, okay, since you want me to do it, I have contacted 4 persons. One only responded, Kevin Lewis. He responded on the spot and he said he would love to collaborate with me. And and I said, I don't know where to go from here. So send me someone. And then I get into my image came you. So I look you up again on Juno's sphere,
Right.
sphere channel. I get that way. Pronounce something and it suddenly gets stuck. And as I was watching it, I could hear very clearly she has the gift. And then followed by the feel a read of you that you have the qualities of a counselor. You are patient, gentle, loving, and nurturing. But the nurturing was the biggest point because nurturing is actually quite a rare gift. Not everybody has that. And the voice also told me that you will help me break the last hurdle I have channeling Ra Ha Sha. He told me that I have everything to channel him today the way Diane's tarot does. But I I'm just putting up some last resistance. And then the voice told me to book a reading with you. And that is very unusual because I mean, once I have Rasha, I don't need anyone else. So I
Yeah.
never book reading with anyone else. But on the spot, I booked a reading with you. And as I was looking at the different, the different race or what, all the different categories you have,
Mhm.
the voice told me, just book it. You will, you will have more chances to do that later. So I booked the reading and then we had the reading. You probably didn't realize the impact because you were just reading it. But for me, I was just going through the stream and the whole journey that you described. I was living the whole thing like in a movie. And then I realized that it was the Ra collective, Ra Ha Sha, that you were connecting. And then when he told you about the three paths, I knew that was my affirmation because the last session I had with him, he told me about the three paths also, that whichever one I took, it doesn't matter because they all lead to the same.
That's great. That was
Yes.
so amazing because I'll tell how I experienced our first connection. And that was it was the day of my late husband's funeral. And the family was here and we were kind of rushing around. I think it was on my way upstairs to get one more thing. And we were just about ready to go out the door to go to his funeral. And for some reason, I got this email and I answered it. I mean, this is not the time, Joan. This is really not the time to be checking your email. But for some reason, I did, and I not only looked at it, I responded to you, and it must have landed as kind of a shock because what I said was, "I'll get in touch with you later. I have to go to my husband's funeral." But for some reason, I thought, okay, that's not normal behavior, even for me, who can be kind of kooky sometimes. Um, and it made me pay attention to you. So when you were saying, "Yeah, I don't remember if you said in an email that Ra Ha Sha had told me to connect or told you to connect with me," if it hadn't been for that, like it's sort of like when someone sends a sign, like a bird that's sitting on your window and tapping at you, doing something out of the ordinary. That was the something out of the ordinary for me that made me pay attention to you. And you had no idea about that. That was someone coming through and say, "Pay attention to this woman." And then we had a really nice reading. But as you were saying, for me, I was kind of doing what I always do and tuning in and talking about the pictures and getting messages from your spirit team. I just had no idea that your spirit team was a sixth density galactic light being from this Ra Ha Sha collective. So anyhow, so that's kind of how we got together. And then just recently, a couple days ago, we had a practice session to try to do this. So I've got, thank you very much, everyone. And hello to other people who have joined: Dave Maud, Carolyn Adams, Mary Ellen Jenkinson, Starfish, HHI, Viviani. Thank you all for being here. And we're going to try to answer some of your questions now. And it's an experiment. We'll just see what happens. But first up, let's see what we can do for T-Barb. A message from Spirit from T-Barb. So I'm going to, just to be very transparent, because this is a little different than usual, I'm going to do what I do in all of my readings. connecting with spirit, grounding. And I'm going to ask that my spirit team, my guides and angels, and departed loved ones connect with Gertrude's spirit team, her guides and angels and departed loved ones, and especially Ra Ha Sha, to bring through messages that are relevant and meaningful to the querent, and hopefully have meaning for other people who are listening and hearing this. And we ask us in the name of the one source and put Archangel Gabriel over this communication to manage all communication to ensure that all is relevant, meaningful, and 100% aligned with divine light, aligned with divine source. Okay, so with that done, we're connected, protected, guided. We're going to ask, what's a message that will be of benefit for T-Barb? What does T-Barb need to know today? And I'll connect with Gertrude heart to heart, mind to mind, soul to soul. As I connected, I kind of made a triangle between Gertrude, T-Barb, and Spirit. I did it the other way around, Gertrude, Spirit, and T-Barb. And down at the bottom corner, it started to be kind of like a corkscrew. So it's like this thing that's an auger almost. From the bottom of the triangle, it started digging a hole, a trench, or something or other, and then going up in an arc. So, Spirit, tell me more about this. They said she is digging it. She is digging into her gifts and surfacing them. Okay, show me what happens. It's like a period of rapid growth and development. It's like an auger that goes and makes a tunnel underground, but instead of digging down, you're digging up. And then once you get to the surface, it's like you're Mary Poppins with an umbrella that lifts you up, 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 up like an elevator. Okay, so what's the practical message here for T-Barb? It's just that. It's just that, like Mary Poppins, you're doing something that others would consider magical, but you've got like the sensible shoes and suit and the little carpet bag and are very, in your own way, bringing this into a very practical world and a practical life where you're living here in the 3D. But you're bringing, you're up in the clouds. You are very, very in tune with your divine nature. Okay, what's the message going forward? Okay, now I'm seeing you kind of out in the stratosphere above, so it's giving you this view. And just kind of like Mary Poppins, you're going to appear just like at the house of Jane and Michael Banks, just exactly where you're needed. The people, the situations, the need for your exact abilities at this time you'll be brought together, just kind of like Gertrude and I were brought together. So you don't have to worry about that. Just keep digging it, and know that just follow the wind, follow where Spirit takes you, and trust. Anything else on this, Spirit? I'm hearing she'll know, and I get a real feeling in my solar plexus chakra that you're gaining in self-confidence. So, Gertrude, do you want to draw some cards on that?
reach out. We know you are reaching out right now for help due to a current situation. Support is as much about the physical act of accepting help where offered as it is about the emotional benefits and learning that it's truly okay to accept support, however it's presented to you. Yeah, so that's the card I got.
Reaching out, yeah. And when I was going on and on, did you feel like that was a message from Ra Ha Sha?
Yes, because I just want to close my eyes and retreat. I usually, when his presence is very strong, I often just want to close my eyes and then I settle into meditation.
Okay. And you say
Yes,
that you sense his presence across your forehead,
yes,
kind of on the third eye area? Okay,
yes, very strong. And like right now, it's really strong.
good.
It is not only just here, it's like the whole head area. And so that's how I know he is with us right now.
Okay, wonderful. And I'm just going to check. Um, T Barb says, you two are reaching out. Are my reaching out for support? Wonderful. That's great. All right. Next question up is um, from Junosphere. Any message from me? Okay. Okay, we're going to connect with Juno. Okay, what message is important for Juno to know today? Okay, I thought, uh-oh, am I getting the same message? I saw that same sort of spiral that was started as horizontal with T-barb. It turned vertical, and it looks like a whirlwind, like a tornado, a cyclone. Things are moving very fast for you. Okay, what's the advice here, Spirit? Just hang on. This is a period of rapid development for you as well. It can feel like there's an explosion going off in your life, like you're in a tornado. So how does she get through this period without having her house be taken to Kansas? Stay grounded. Get out in nature, ground yourself. It's more important now than ever. For you, being up in the heavens is the easy part, uh, but you don't want to get swept away because there's just so much energy happening. Uh, they're showing me your dogs. I know you have dogs. They'll help you stay grounded. Um, there's so much going on, but just take time, even if it's 15, 30 minutes, to look at the garden, look at the trees, be outside, uh, drink plenty of water. That's the main message, is to stay grounded right now, because this is like a bomb has gone off in your life. Things are moving so rapidly. Oh, I hope that helps. So what do you get for Juno?
Well, Ra Ha Sha knows Juno. And so I could feel the pressure. Like when I'm training to channel him and I can feel the pressure here getting very, very strong and concentrated. That was what I was feeling. Very strong and concentrated. And guess what I got? Stand your ground.
Oh, wow.
Exactly your message. Standing your ground is an empowering, confidence building action to take from time to time. Now is the moment when you need to stand your ground. You know you can do it, and you know that by doing so, you will be the victor. Exactly as you said, Juno, moving on to greater and bigger things.
Yeah. And Juno says that she's speechless. And that's something. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm glad that that is meaningful. All right. Let's see who else we can get here. This, I think, is Priscilla from the Crone Zone would like a message. Okay. Gotta tune in. Okay, first, the last couple were kind of intense. So I'm going to ring a bell and clear so I can tune in to Priscilla and through you, Gertrude. And now to Spirit. um, so I have this line between Priscilla and Gertrude, and then it was going up this way to make a triangle, and all of a sudden the lines turned into hands blowing kisses to you. They're very, very appreciative of the work that you've taken on and the work that you've been doing. Okay, show me more, please, Spirit. I just keep seeing this, that the hands, the lines turned into hands and are turning into a triangle, like a pyramid. Okay, now it's a pyramid over your head. Ah, that's appropriate, as you know, here the day after the Lionsgate portal is opening. So what's the wow? I wish you could all see what's in my head. And now this is turned into sort of like a pyramid. It's up. What I'm seeing is like a dark black onyx pyramid with boom, this star, this light source that just expands like a nova right over the top of the pyramid. Okay, Spirit, can you put this into simple terms for the simple-minded me here? What does this mean? It looks like a powerful image. It's a powerful time, they're saying. It's a powerful time, and it's changing between this onyx dark pyramid and a snow-capped mountain. You've been climbing, you've laid all the groundwork, like all those different levels of stone from which the pyramids were built and the ground from which the mountains were built. It's taken a long time to get where you are, but you're in the perfect place right now to bring the light, of your knowledge and spread it like this explosion of light. And that's they're saying they're well pleased, because that's your purpose right now, is to take the years and decades of experience and knowledge and spread it, and it falls down. Oh wow, it's like sparklers, you know, when you have sparklers and all the little sparks fall down and spread out to others. So you're spreading your light to others through the work that you're doing. That was pretty cool. I love this audience. Everyone is a really high vibration. Gertrude, what do you get?
It's interesting. You were talking about the pyramid and energy. I have embraced the moment. Embrace this day, this very moment. Think positively today and repel those negative thoughts. Try not to judge yourself or others. This may be harder than you think. What is actually happening is that you are changing your energy.
Okay,
Yeah, it coincides with what you were reading
that
about the
sounds great.
pyramid and energy.
That sounds great. Well, I hope that is meaningful and resonated with you, Priscilla. Okay, let's see what else we have here. From Sunny Intuition, a message for her. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ring the bell between all of these, because these are pretty intense messages, and it just feels a little different than what I usually do. All right, let's tune in to Sunny Intuition and through Gertrude. What's the message here, Spirit? Okay, I started seeing a beach ball, and a beach ball was spinning, and then I saw that there's a trained seal balancing the spinning beach ball on its nose. Okay, what's this mean, Spirit? And now, now they're bouncing it. There's two trained seals bouncing this beach ball from one nose to another. You are very adept. You have studied and trained and developed your skill set in whatever this is. And you have helped others through example or by working with them to collaborate to bring something wonderful um, to the greater world. So is this in the spiritual realm? They're showing me trees. This is in the physical realm, but it's infused with spirit. You're doing what we're all meant to do, is to bring the message from spirit into 3D. And it's like you've got this you can still learn new tricks, but you have done this for yourself and gotten to a place where you can share it with others. And it brings joy to everyone. Like you and this other seal are having a really good time bouncing this beach ball off your nose, but there's all these people around too that are experiencing that higher vibration of joy that you're doing this. So, whatever it is, this skill that you have, whether it's your work or through your family or through your friendships or through spiritual gifts, um, I'm seeing you as a teacher and someone who spreads the joy. What did you get, Gertrude?
Stand your ground.
Again,
Yes,
interesting.
yes. And I know when he wants a card, he wants that card, because one time I did a reading and I picked two cards that were difficult to read. So I reshuffle and I get the same two cards. So standing your ground is an empowering, confidence building action to take from time to time. Now is the moment when you need to stand your ground. You know you can do it, and you know that by doing so, you will be the victor. So after
Wonderful.
that incident, I promised him I won't reshuffle the card again. Whatever card I get. So that is his message.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, let's see. All right, next up is from Ivana Intuitive. Let's see
Oh,
what message we. Hi, Ivana. All right, let's do this. I'm going to be clearing with everyone. Okay. Let's tune in. Oh, you people are so fun. It's really, really, I just love this community. Everyone's so high vibe. Okay, Spirit, show me what Ivana needs to know today. What would be helpful to her? I'm seeing instruments. First, I'm seeing very, very up close someone playing a flute. And I'm seeing it like, okay, this way. I'm seeing, things are backwards. I'm seeing a close up of the hand on a flute. And it looks like not a silver, flute that you would see in an orchestra or band, but like a flute that someone from an indigenous tribe would be playing, something ancient, something made out of wood or bamboo or something. And you've played this song before in past lives. Um, and I believe they are referring to your spiritual gifts. Follow the Yes, follow your intuition. But tell me more, Spirit, about what's this flute? It's the song. It's the song of your soul playing to you. I'm getting just really, really high tingles here. It's the song of your soul beckoning you to come closer, to come higher. Uh, they're saying, I'm seeing clapping hands, saying, good, good, good job, good job. But just recognize that you have done this before. Um, and it is, yes, you came down here to learn and do other things, but it is uh, this work, working with your intuition, is the song of your soul. So feel free, pursue it. I believe that I'm feeling the feelings you get when you tap into this energy. And it's like I could just stay here forever. I don't want to leave. Um, what, what practical advice do we have for Ivana, Spirit? Just, they keep repeating this. Don't feel like you're being selfish for just wanting to be in this energy all the time. Um, just by being in this energy, you soak it up and then it reflects out to others. Um, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm saying the same message to everyone here, but this is what I'm receiving, that by pursuing this, yes, it's good for you and your soul and it makes you feel good, but it's more than you. Okay, and now I'm seeing an image that Gertrude, if you don't mind me, my mentioning this because it came up in a private reading, but one of the images that came up when I was reading you was the human chain. Remember that?
Yes,
Um, that like when you go to the beach or whatever, and someone's drowning, um, people will make a human chain, and everybody is like grasping hands like this to be really secure, and
yes,
it's reaching out, and there's always somebody out there that needs to be saved, to be brought in, and then they're one of the ones who will be helping the next person who needs to be brought in. And then it changed to, it's not just the human chain on the beach getting people out of the ocean, but it's a human chain that's changed in my vision to paper dolls, like paper dolls that are cut out, and they're attached in the same way at the hand and wrist, and they're circling the earth. So this is what Spirit wants us to do. All of us is each one help one, and by everyone doing that, and then we pull them out of the ocean and they get well enough to go, oh, okay, I'm going to help somebody too, that we're going to be in many different, just like the longitude and the latitude things, we're going to be spreading this worldwide. And isn't that what Ra Ha Sha said about you, that you were among those chosen that he wanted to work with, because he wants this message spread throughout the world? Am I
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I see that. Oh, feel free to share anything. As you know, there's very little I keep secret. So if you see anything that connects with me, and that is the image that I keep in my mind, reaching out globally. And it's very interesting because so I thought I don't even try. So I try and I asked Rasha for a message for Ivana, and I heard, "We know you. You are of our spirit and essence." And
Wonderful.
so that's a card I draw. Animal kingdom. Animals of all types are extraordinary creatures and miraculous gifts to us. They have been our spiritual companions since the dawn of time. At this moment, they have lessons to share with you that will open your heart and soul. So that is the card I pick. But it's just amazing. That is the first time I try and the first time I receive a message. And very
Oh, okay.
clearly, the one for Avana, we know you
We know you.
of our same spirit and essence.
Wonderful. And she said,
Yes,
I got the chills too. I've asked for higher vibration and to help others. I love this reading. Yes, I feel like I'm part of the grid chain. I see it happening. That's Ooh, I'm getting chills now. Oh, this is so fun. I was so worried about this, but I should have known better. Okay, so let's
I knew
see.
you
That
would
was
go very well.
Ivana. And now we have Heather. Is there anything I need to know today? Okay. Okay, I'm going to do this consistently. Whew. Gertrude, we're so lucky to have this beautiful group of people here today. Um,
Yes.
it makes our job really easy. All right, Heather. Tuning into you. Through Gertrude. Okay, I'm having a hard time making sense of this. Spirit, can you show me something clear? They're telling me just to say it. I'm seeing a little wafer cookie. One that's just small rectangle. It's pink and it's like really light, and crunchy. Um, I don't even know what you call those, but it's so what's the meaning of this, Spirit? It's pink. It's love. It's a lightness. It's sweetness. The pink is important. It's like you bring a sweetness to the world. It's like this little flavoring that makes everything better. Just a little, uh, mm, just okay, they're saying you're a treat to be with. Um, I'm not, okay, Spirit, help me with this one. Okay, there is a subtlety to your vibration that's like this little sweet pink wafer cookie. Uh, you don't come on overly strong or demanding or aggrandizing. Um, okay. Now we're mixing drinks. You know, if you have a drink and you put a little bit of, what is it, grenadine or something into it, a little red flavoring, and all of a sudden it makes something that's all yellow and orange. And we're looking at some sort of cocktail that has fruit in it, and it gives it this whole different hue and a little bit of taste. You're the little something special. And I keep saying little, but it's not. It's like you don't. It's not that you are small. It's that small amounts of you can make a big change in a situation. You can walk into a group and just your vibration by being there, you don't have to get to the front of the room and pound your fist and say anything. Your vibration and just your presence helps lift everyone up. And so know that about yourself, and get rid of any self doubt, and know that even just little small doses can be a real gift to other people. Um, Spirit, can you tell me anything else for Heather? They say you're well named, and now I'm seeing the heather like growing in the south of France, blowing in the wind, and the scent is just heavenly. But it's not it's not overwhelming. It's grace. That's the word, grace. You present yourself and present your vibration with grace that infuses whatever it is that you're working on, whether that's a work situation, a family situation, um, whatever it is, and it helps. It helps whatever. It infuses whatever issue you're dealing with. Okay. And you know this, you feel this. And this is not to say that you don't have trouble in your life. Um, but if you are in a place of conflict or you're, having a bad day or whatever, just know, get to know that aspect of yourself and get in the habit of finding a way to push that button and take a deep breath. And I don't know if you want to envision the heather in the south of France and smell that and just go there to settle yourself. And then that comes out through you and will help with the situation too. I hope that makes sense to you. What did you get, Gertrude?
So I picked this card, self-sabotage. When you learn to get out of your own way, there will be no stopping you. Most of the time, it's not others who prevent you from achieving your true goals. It's the inner voice that derails those carefully woven plans. So I asked him, why did I pull this card? And then the message he told me was that you are in the best position to give a message about self sabotage because this is something I am very good at. That's something I do. And so the message is, and I just watched the same thing. It came from his last live session with Diane Tarot. I watched it 3 times this morning, and now I know why, because I will need it. So in the last session, he said to look, to use, to look at ourselves through the eyes of the creator, something to the effect of looking at ourselves through the eyes of the creator and our higher selves, and then we will know what our true selves really are. And I have been following that because I'm so prone to self-sabotage that I operate from that higher level where I look at myself from the eyes of the creator and my higher self. I know I am the wonderful person I am. I'm not the one that I'm always pushing under. And then I asked him twice for a message for Heather, and the word love came in twice.
Okay. That makes sense because what I was seeing was all kind of sweetness and light and pink wafer cookies and Heather in the south of France. And that's what Spirit sees Heather as. And when your reading came in, it was say, okay, this is what's preventing you from seeing yourself in that way, perhaps. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Heather, if possible, let us know if that makes sense to you. This is fun. Okay, ringing the bell. And let's see. Well, this works out perfectly. I started 7 questions.
You are very good at this.
Behind the scenes, I almost canceled this out and left the meeting. So I'm, my eyes are everywhere, but I'm glad it's coming off like I know what I'm doing here. Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, and the last one was from Heather or from Ivana again. So let's see if there's anyone else. I think we have time. Oh, it's actually perfect timing. We are almost at an hour. So that was fun. Let's see. How do I get this? We'll take this off. So thank you, everyone. This was really, really kind of cool. So Gertrude,
it is very addictive listening to you reading. It's fascinating. That's a tremendous gift you have.
it's I'm, like all of us, I feel like I would like to be able to do more and I'd like to read the way other people read, but I think that one of my first videos was, I know I've got some stuff going on and I'm going to be okay with that. And I'm going to work with that and hope that more comes in. And that's worked out okay. I feel like what I do have can be useful. And I'm, fingers crossed that I'll develop more. But I think that's what we can all do. Use whatever we can to be of service and to be useful. And
Well,
certainly,
remember the reading of me where I couldn't share it because it concerns you, where Ra Collective actually put both of us into the water.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, it's like asking the two of us to go into the water and then lead, and bit by bit others will join and form this human chain.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that part.
Yes. I shared it in my video and then I cut yours out because it suddenly occurred to me it's about you and I couldn't share without asking your permission.
That's
But
just
yeah,
right.
Ra Collective put the two of us into the water. And here we are, the two of us in the water. First one we are pulling in.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this. I certainly did. And if you'd like to see more of this and watch us both develop a little bit, let us know, and maybe we can do this again sometime. I would enjoy that very much. Um, and Gertrude, tell us, do you have more appearances coming up, or anything
Oh,
you're planning for your channel?
I am having a live with Shari H, Voices from the Swamp, on Saturday, noon central.
Wonderful.
Yes, that should be fun. And
And
we
I
would talk and then, and then do mini reading like this.
That sounds great. And I have let's see, today's Tuesday. Tomorrow I'll be on Heart and Soul Connected with Allie at noon central. She asked me when I kind of first started if I wanted to be on her channel, and I was just too scared. But now I'm ready to jump in. And then Thursday at 4:30 at Central, I'll be on Meet the Mediums with Allie again. And then this Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time, I'll be with Kelly on Dozen Cats for Me. So all of a sudden, I'm
Um,
jumping in with both feet. And if anybody would like to book a reading with me, I would love that because that's my very favorite thing to do because I can spend a whole hour with you. So you can go to my YouTube channel and just click on book a reading. It'll take you to the booking site. And it's a little confusing because there's like all different price points, including reading by donation. So if you just click on that, you don't have to pay anything up front, and we'll do the reading, and you can send what you want afterwards or not. But right now, I would just love the practice and the opportunity to read some of you. So if you'd like to, please go right ahead and do that. But Gertrude, I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for introducing us to Ra Ha Sha through you. And I
yes,
look forward to getting to know you and Ra Ha Sha better.
yeah. Well, I like to add that getting an hour reading with you is wonderful. Imagine an hour of this, where you go into these images. It's fascinating. And I have a reading with you, end of August, 22nd, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, everyone, thank you so much. I know we're going over a little bit here, but I really appreciate you taking the chance on us, uh,
Yeah.
doing
Thank you.
something that was brand new and supporting us here. So thank you all. Bye now.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.